Hey, Capt Logos here, preacher at large, teaching the word and inspiring 3 minutes at a time. Hey, hope you've read James. We're going to continue from our last post in James 1. So here we go. Do you want to avoid fading away? Yeah, you don't want to just fade away, right? You want to go out with a bang? Yeah, not in the worldly sense, but in the godly sense. Yeah. Be humble. Yeah, be humble. James says, let the lowly brother, which is the humble, glory in his exaltation, but the rich in his humility. Because it talks about the rich, goes on to talk about the rich as the grass of the field, and they're going to fade away. And all that's going to fade away. So the rich man will also fade away in his pursuit. So the high and lofty man, he's going to just fade away. But the humble, they'll be lifted up. Do you want the promise of God? Yeah, eternal life. Yeah, endure your temptations. James 12 says, blessed is the man who endures temptation. For when he has been approved, he will receive the crown of life, which the Lord has promised to those who love him. Yeah, love God, endure your temptation. Oh, the next one's not a do you want, but a hey, quit blaming God. He's not tempting you. You know what's tempting you? You are tempting you. Yeah. It's your own lust. It's your own desires that you don't have control of. Yeah, James 13 says, let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted by God. For God cannot be tempted by evil, nor does he himself tempt anyone. Yes, I get it. He allows it to happen, and sometimes he stops it from happening, but he doesn't make it happen. Get that straight. It's not God, it's your own lust and desires. We're going to come back to that here in a minute. Actually, less than a minute. Do you want to live? Then don't conceive desire. Don't give in to your desires. James 14 says, but each one is tempted when he is drawn away by his own desires and enticed. Yeah, your own. Do you want to avoid sin? Then don't give birth to it. Yeah, James 15. Then when desire has conceived, it gives birth to sin. And sin, when it is full grown, brings forth death. Now here it goes. Your own desires and your own lust bring upon the temptations. And then if you can, in that temptation, if you conceive and give into that desire, you will give birth to sin. Now, in that whole process, desire, lust, temptation, and even at the beginning of the conception of desire, you haven't sinned yet. But once sin is birthed in you, it's going to lead to death. Yeah, it's that whole Galatians 5 and 17 thing. The spirit against the flesh against the spirit. The two are contrary one to the other, so you can't do the things that you would. Yeah, you got to control that flesh. You have to control that flesh. That is your responsibility to control your own body and control your flesh. Now, we got a lot more to go through, so we're going to have several sessions of this. So now, go read James and get your face in the Bible.